Hello team and welcome to episode 4 of What an Absolute Fit Show. Today I'm going to talk about fitness and health and how in our life it can come in and out like a tapestry. Tapestry? That's a good word to use. I like that. Okay. We've all got life commitments, family, career, social life, and it's knowing when and if our fitness journey and our commitments towards health and fitness should bleed in to those other aspects of our life. It should realistically just run alongside it nicely, but that very rarely happens. A lot of the time when people start a fitness journey, they start it as a all in, guns blazing, get rid of all the food out of the fridge and eat chicken and broccoli, go to the gym 5 times a week, let's go, 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 go. And that's not always the best way to do it. We should be putting in a slight calorie deficit and maybe going to the gym 2-3 times a week to start off with, to make sure that we can still crack on with the rest of our lives and that it doesn't have too much of an impact. We want it to work in line with the rest of our life and not take over and be the all-encompassing part. Because if it does, and it does become that all-encompassing part, and you start to obsess over this fitness journey and your goals, then other parts of your life are going to start to suffer and be affected by that. We tend to sometimes obsess when we start a fitness journey, and we want everything yesterday. We want, as a people, as a civilization, we want things done quickly, and I'm afraid that just doesn't work. Yeah, there is no pill, there is no diet pill that's going to get you to where you want to be overnight. You have to put in the hard work, and it takes time. But there's no need for us to go in so deep so soon. We can just take it nice and slow. You can go into a slight calorie deficit. You can just do it as you wish, and you can do it as you're going along with life. The main thing, and I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again, we're only on episode 4, and I think I said it on episode 1. I may have even mentioned it on episode 3 as well, but that's habits. The main thing to know when we're looking at starting a fitness journey and we want it to be something that is going to be carrying on for a long time is we need to implement them habits. If we don't, we're always going to revert back, and this is why it's important that when we do start our fitness journey, we don't go a little too far. Like I said before, people getting rid of all of their food out of their fridge, and all of a sudden they're going to be on chicken and broccoli and rice in a meal prep tub for the next week. I guarantee, if you're not used to eating like that, you'll get to Wednesday and you'll be in McDonald's drive-through because you're not used to it. You've not set that as a habit. The better thing to do would be to enjoy the food that you like eating, just eat a little bit less of it. Okay, get yourself into a slight calorie deficit to start with. As you start to see a change, you'll want to do more. It's the same as going to the gym. Don't go in 6 times a week. Go in twice, maybe 3 times a week to start off with. And then as you start to see that change, and as you start to feel like you want to be there more, you can be there more. This is a big bugbear of mine when we are going and starting a fitness journey, and we're looking at our fitness journey from a long time point of view, is it's that whole 8-week 12-week challenge. Get ready for your summer holiday, get ready for that wedding, do it in 8 weeks, do it in 6 weeks, whatever it is. If you want to get ready for a holiday, you want to get in shape for a holiday, that's absolutely awesome. Yeah, do the program. But what comes next? Where do you go? Most people just stop because the nutrition plan and exercise program isn't sustainable. You can't be doing, if you are going to say if you're looking at losing a substantial amount of weight in 8 weeks or 12 weeks, you're going to have to be on quite a high calorie deficit, and you're going to have to be in the gym quite a lot. And not only is it probably not sustainable as a health from a health point of view, but it's probably not sustainable from your lifestyle point of view either. So it's always good to start off nice and slow. And to be honest with you, I feel like I've repeated myself a few times so far in the podcast. I do apologize for that, right? I'm just working through a few of my show notes, and it's, you know, I think what I'm trying to say here is know and be prepared for your long-term goals to take a long time. Yeah. This whole fitness thing, there's no finite ending to it. You're getting and you're starting a health and fitness journey. Don't expect it ever to be over. Yeah. You never win at fitness. You just get better. And it's always better to set up those short-term goals, because your long-term goal, may be to look like that person that you have seen on Instagram. Yeah. And that's great. Work towards it. I would never, ever tell somebody that they couldn't achieve something that they wanted to achieve. But instead of just focusing point blank on that goal, why don't you set yourself up some short-term goals that are going to help you, help you to stay committed and stay motivated. And most of these goals are normally fitness related goals. We should just, instead of always looking at the scales, we should set up some fitness related goals, whether that's resistance, whether we're looking at maybe getting more sets and reps on a certain machine or on all machines or on bench press, or whether that's, a faster 5K time or whatever. It can be absolutely anything that you want it to be. I will go on a little bit of a side note on this one. And I did mention weight then and weighing yourself. Listen, please stop fucking weighing yourself all the time. You don't walk around with a digital readout of what we weigh on our forehead, okay? Nobody cares. I don't care what you weigh. You're walking down the street and you walk past somebody, they're not thinking, yeah, oh, I bet she weighs blah, 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 or I bet they weigh blah, blah, blah. They're just thinking probably something about themselves. Don't worry about what you weigh, okay? And, it's something that is easy to obsess over. It's something that people do obsess over, and there's absolutely no need for it. The amount of times I've had people come into me and like, "No, I've put weight on." I was like, "Well, how much?" "Oh, like I've put on like a pound." I was like, "Well, okay. Let's make sure that you've weighed yourself at the same time. Let's make sure that you didn't have a turd in the tube waiting to come out. Okay. Let's make sure that you haven't eaten something which is going to make you hold on to more water weight." There's so many different things to look at and aspects to look at when it comes to weighing yourself that it's probably not worth it. And it's better off to just go off how you feel. If you feel like you're losing weight, then chances are you're probably losing weight. If your clothes feel a little bit baggier, then chances are you're losing weight. If people are telling you that you're losing weight, then fucking hell, you're probably losing weight. Okay? Stop weighing yourself. Right then. Now that I've got over my little rant, and I can get on with the actual podcast and what I actually want it to be about. Hopefully, though, some of you might have got something from, not always looking at the long-term aspects of your fitness journey and focusing on smaller, easy win goals to keep you motivated. The main reason that I wanted to do this podcast today, and the main reason that I pre-named it and even put it out on social media before recording it of what it was going to be called, was Fitness in for the Long Haul. And the reason I mentioned it and the reason that I called it that is because fitness isn't something that just stays with us. It isn't something that is just part of us all the time. It comes in and out of our lives at different stages, and it's okay for that to happen. A lot of people will be like, "Oh, well, I haven't really done anything for a couple of months because this happened, or I've had stuff going on at home, or work's been really busy. I've not been able to get to the gym, or we've just had a baby and I haven't got time. I just need to eat food that is there, and I haven't got time to look at my nutrition as well." And you know what? That's all absolutely fine. I was going to use myself as an example, and my story of fitness has been up and down quite a lot. since I started my fitness journey back in like 2006. I've been in pretty good, what I would say, I've been in pretty good nick before, and I've been, considerably out of what I would call good nick as well. With only a few years or a few months apart from those things. And it's all to do with things that happen in my life, and you guys can probably relate to it. I'm personally at the moment currently really struggling to come to terms with the fact that I'm not in as good a shape as I have been in the past, because I'm a coach and I work in a gym and I work online and I've got a presence on social media. And part of me thinks that, Nick, you need to be in awesome shape all the time. You need to be leading by example. And to a certain point, that is true. And I suppose this is almost like this recording, this podcast is almost like a little face stroke to myself and wiping away my little tear, telling myself that fitness can be up and down in life. At the moment, I've got two businesses to run, and it takes up a lot of my time. I've got a family, a child, the neediest little pug that you've ever met, and various other endeavors that, I want to be involved in and I want to be a part of. And I've been constantly for probably the last year telling myself, and, even telling others, that I'm a better coach than I am athlete, because my motivation at the moment just isn't there to train. It's just not there like it has been in the past. But I think that's okay. And I don't think I'm the only one, because sooner or later it will come around. Things will start to settle down a bit. The last time I was in really, really good shape, I would say, was probably 2018, and that was before we had our daughter. I was still in Gibraltar, and I had very, very few things that were actually reliant on me. I could be selfish, and I could fully commit to my fitness goals and what I wanted to achieve, and I was also surrounded constantly. I was working in the gym, and I was there for 12 hours a day, and I was constantly surrounded by other coaches, other PTs, and we all used to train together. I'll mention them now. We've got Reese, Ross, Josh, Lubo. We all used to go in and train. We motivated each other, and it was really, really good. And there is a certain aspect of that now. Like today, I trained with 5 people. Well, 5 of us all trained together, and it was the best training session that I've had in 6 months, because I had the opportunity to train with people to motivate me to do better. If you're feeling the same and you're feeling like you're not feeling motivated, don't worry. It comes around. It happens to me. It happens to everybody. I'm coming out here, and maybe this is it might even be a little bit dangerous for my business to come out and say, look, I don't feel particularly motivated at the moment to train. Whereas, a lot of people are thinking, well, if he's not motivated, how is he supposed to motivate me? But at the end of the day, the whole reason that I'm not motivated is because I am so intent and concentrating on other people's motivation. Because at the moment, that is what's motivating me. And I'm pretty sure that my motivation and my work ethic is going to return, and I am going to go back to going balls deep, ham sandwich when things settle down. I've had to rebuild my business back from the ground up following it being decimated pretty much by the pandemic and some personal issues that I'm not going to get into now. And, that little issue of trying to transfer my business over from Gibraltar, 600 miles back to the UK, which wasn't ideal when I'm predominantly an in-person, front-facing personal trainer, and I think a lot of it, again, I mentioned it before, is habits. You get into bad habits as your life changes and certain things happen. Like for me, it was having a family and coming back to the UK, like a big change. It changed the way that my habits were working. I wasn't eating as well. I wasn't training as efficiently, and even now I'm just now starting to implement them good habits back. I can feel it. I can feel that coming back and that really excites me. So, guys, if you feel anything like what I've just spoken to you about, which is my own personal sort of story of how fitness has come in and out of my life and how it is at the moment, then hopefully you can take something away from it and know that it's okay, that sometimes fitness isn't the most important thing. Sometimes our health and our fitness it shouldn't, on paper we should always say like your health comes first, but realistically it doesn't. It it's something that is always there, and sometimes we are motivated to do it, and sometimes we aren't. If you're anything like me, I am currently sitting at the end of the fitness pool, sort of dangling my legs into the pool and having a little swish about. I'm still going to the gym. I'm eating relatively well, but I'm just kind of going through the motions. A little bit scared to feel the shock of jumping into that pool. Do what I'm going to do. I am slowly and surely just starting to ease myself in, and then eventually I'll dip my head under. You know what? I'll probably end up doing a few lengths. A kid will get in the pool, take a shit, and I'll have to get out. And to be honest with you, that's just how fitness works. Sometimes shit gets in the way. We have to deal with it and get back to it. I'll see you in episode 5.